Well, some key states are still tallying votes and a tight race for the White House. It is still anyone's game at this point. Dr. Lee Hanna, a political science professor at Wright State University, joins us live to break it all down on this day following Election Day. Lee, always good to see you. In the immortal words of the late Tom Petty, the waiting is the hardest part, but I think we need to remind people it is not all that unusual to be at this point and not know a winner in a presidential race.
Yes, you are correct. It just so happens that we've had a streak of elections where one of the two candidates gets to 270. The AP can call enough states to where, Obama in 2012 or President Trump in 2016 can claim victory. And it just so happens this year, for a myriad of reasons, coronavirus, mail voting, different state laws, we now have these delays in Pennsylvania and in Michigan in particular.
Well, I was going to ask you next about those two states. As you may have already heard, I'm just hearing that they've just declared Biden has won Michigan, so that's a big step. That's reclaiming a state that Trump won 4 years ago. But as you may have heard, the Trump campaign has already started legal action in both the states of Michigan and Pennsylvania. A lot of people are going, oh, here we go, 2000 all over again. Are we headed down that road again?
You know, it's hard to tell from the get-go what will happen, but in 2016, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin all came down to fewer than 80,000 votes, but it was a clear victory for the president in each of those states. There was a request for a recount in Wisconsin in 2016. I think it netted Trump an additional 150 votes. He's behind by tens of thousands at the moment, but certainly, it may be scrutinized. As far as will it look like Florida, there's the counting and then there is the recount. And so the counting gives you one total. And then if there are, complaints of irregularities, you can start getting into a recount, and that's where the courts will get more involved.
Lee, finally, let's talk about the presidential result here in Ohio last night. President Donald Trump winning Ohio by the same 8 points that he carried Ohio by 4 years ago. Of course, a lot has happened in the last 4 years that you would think would have moved that number one way or the other. Your thoughts on the amazing fact that it was 8 last time and it's 8 again this time, or the consistency here in the Buckeye State?
It was identical. You just threw Gary Johnson out, gave them each 1.5 points, and he got the same margin. Joe Biden's candidacy was based on electability and on two key theories: that he could win back the suburbs and that he could win back a number of white working class voters who defected to Trump from Obama in 2012. And what we're seeing is that his theory about the suburbs, it does seem like he hit his numbers and improved in those areas, but he did not in any way improve with white working class voters. In fact, we saw that Trump improved his numbers both in terms of the margins and in the turnout in some of these rural counties. So that essentially offset the gains in the suburbs and in some of the larger cities, and you have the exact same result. It's pretty wild.
All right, Dr. Lee Hanna from Wright State, we appreciate your help yesterday and today as well. And, of course, we'll be talking to you, of course, as this story continues to develop. Thanks for joining us. Take care.
Thanks, Mark. See you soon.